were living on each side, and the beaver made that dam, and it blocked the flow of the water. It started to flood the area, and the people started dying, and they didn't know what to do or how to get rid of that beaver. So they asked Yamoja for his help. He took a tree from the side of the river and yanked it out of the ground, and he made like it was like a shovel, I guess. He kind of scooped that beaver on the side, and it cleared the water, and the water started flowing. That's why right now there's, right at the mouth of the river, there's two outcrops of rocks like this. And they say that it was Yamoja that did that pushed the dam aside. And he took his shovel and spiked it into the ground. And now there's a big spruce tree that's growing there. And it's probably one of the biggest trees in this area.
And that tree is revered by the Yellowknives Dene. You'll see in the bark of the tree there'll be coins. There's a crucifix hanging there. There's a whole mat of litter underneath it that I'm sure if you dug down, which we're not going to do, but if you were to go down, you would find other types of offerings that predate when the first white people came into the north. So you'd probably find stone tools there. Other Dene talk about Yamoja chasing the giant beaver, and it gouged out a big trench, and that became the Mackenzie River. The story that got me really interested in whether or not there's a sort of a basis for that story, can you, other than having it as a story or a legend, is there some basis in geology and geomorphology to explain this particular place here? And I think that there is. I think that at some point in the past, it may have been 7 or 8 or 10,000 years ago, there was an ice dam that kept the glacial meltwaters to the northeast of here, kept it back. So there was Glacial Lake McConnell, there was an ice dam, and a whole lot of water back up in there to the northeast of here. And at some point, I think that ice dam broke and that water came rushing down through here. And if there were people around that witnessed that, that perhaps is how they explained how that particular phenomena happened.
I think we need to come up with a story. I think that's probably one of the best ways that we'll be able to tell the story about Giant Mine is to create a story or a legend. And I think legends are created by events, I said. So this thing that's underground, the way I look at it, the way I see it, it is a giant monster. It is a monster for me. It's maybe bigger than a monster. Once it comes out, it will destroy everything in front of it. So we could take a look at it like that, like in a cloud of dust that comes out of the ground, as it goes, whichever way the wind blows, that's where it's going to kill all these people. Forever in my language, we say hot'ahlon. It's hot'a means right now, and then you go hlon. Forever. There's no stop to it. It's like going out into the universe and that's it. I can't imagine that far. It's hard for me to think in that way, but it is important. That's why I think it's important for everyone to get involved and start talking about it. When we had that healing ceremony last year at the mine site, I was crying. I was crying because I was saying I'm sorry. Even though I never did it, I feel sorry for the land. What? Maybe we're not part of creating that, but it really affects me. I can't believe that. What they've done to the land is not right at all. It isn't right. All for the sake of money. all for financial gain. That's all it was. They don't care what they did to the land. Not like us Dene people. We really care for our land. I think a lot of times when we're working with the diamond industry right now, there's so many things we've learned from the past that we don't want to happen, to try to make sure that things are in place, that they reclaim the land, and they're watching how they work on the land. So things in that way it's getting a little bit better, but what was allowed to happen at Giant Mine was not right. And I feel really sad that we allowed that monster there.
What lessons do we really take away from what's happened at Giant? Are we really doing mining any better now than was done in the 40s, 50s, even up into the 90s and currently today? Not really. We may think we have better technology, but our regulation, management of it, it's not even mandatory to have financial security in place for mines. There's no mandatory requirements for closure plans. What have we really learned from that? Not a heck of a lot, because we just continue on and think that what we do today with mining is fine.
It's probably the second worst mine in Canada, this place. Now remediation is happening. I was told it's going to take 10 years to clean this up. But the way I see things, the progressness of it, I guess it's not really moving at a real fast pace. It looks like it's going to be ongoing and for a very long time, maybe monitoring. After the remediation's done, might be years of monitoring going on. The community hearing, they told us monitoring is forever. So what is forever? What's forever? So fingers crossed, and hopefully they will do the right thing, the government of the day, clean it up and put it back in a safe place where we can continue to live. And hopefully that will happen. Hopefully they'll keep their promises. It's hard for government to keep promises. They break every one of them. Like this conservative government, they break every one of them. But I hope they keep it. Hopefully.
In the future, who knows if the government is going to have enough money to maintain what they're maintaining, like these thermal siphons. In the future, who knows if there's even going to be any governments to have money to maintain that. And I can't imagine, oh my God, my poor grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my grandchildren that's not here yet. They're going to have to deal with that, and we have to somehow find a way to relay that message to them. It has to be through our stories. There's legends that there used to be monsters in there, big, huge animals. And maybe we have to start creating one or something similar. It is a monster. It's huge, bigger than a monster. Yeah. We are the guardians of eternity, forever and ever with no end. There's no end to it. And that's how we have to keep this big monster underground.